This is John Pluta, Millersville, Georgia, georgiabees.blogspot.com. I want to talk about honey pumps today. When you're a large-scale hobbyist going into a sideliner to a small commercial operation, once you get to 100 hives, a honey pump is nice. Between 100 and 200 hives, you really need to have one for pumping honey or for moving corn syrup around for feeders. Most of your honey pumps, they basically consist of one electric motor, 2 pulley systems, and a rotary gear pump. They aren't light. Most of them weigh right around between 80 and 100 pounds. What I do is I have a rolling barrel cart, so I basically just set my honey pump on here. What I'm doing today is transferring honey from one barrel into a raised up barrel to fill 5-gallon buckets. Most of your beekeeping supply houses, they carry honey pumps, Dadant, Mann. They run between $1,000 to $1,200. They're well worth it. One of your most important things is pumps will not move cold or cool honey. Honey has to be warmed up. If you're going to buy a honey pump, it's imperative to have a honey warming system. Basically, just 1 or 2 heat strap bands on the barrels will work, or a heating blanket. Most of your literature recommends 85 to 100 degrees. I kind of like 100 to 125. It moves a whole lot quicker. Most of your pumps come just as a unit. The plastic tubing, basically 1 1/4 inch tubing, clear plastics, so we can watch honey go back and forth and see it going through the tubes. When you hook your plastic pipe tubing up to your pump and motor, I highly recommend using 2 clamps on your input and your output. Most pumps, your input is low and your output goes up above. All you really need to have is right around 4 to 4.5 feet to go into a barrel. What I'm going to do today is I'm filling some 5-gallon buckets that we sell here, and then my excess I pump into my barrel so that I can fill that later, because it's raised up on concrete blocks. And I have a series of barrels that are raised up. When you warm your honey up, you want to go ahead and do it and do the whole barrel at one time. A barrel normally weighs 660 pounds. It equals between 10 and 11 buckets. What I've done is I've inserted my tube down into my cleaner honey down below here. You can filter it as you go, because your honey is warmed. It will go through filter straining systems very nicely. Any of your basket filters, or you can use the 5-gallon paint strainer bags. These are very efficient. Most of your pumps have an inline on and off switch. Most of them pump between 2 and 3 gallons a minute. So basically, it takes 2 minutes to fill a 5-gallon bucket. It doesn't just shoot out, so it's nice and slow. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like coming through your tubing. It's probably about 105 degrees. The higher you pump, the slower it goes. Once you get your intake primed and Here we go. If I'm filling buckets all day long, I will insert a shut-off valve in here so we don't have that much of a mess going from bucket to bucket. But because I'm only doing 2 buckets and then I'm going to fill the rest of the barrel, I don't have the shut-off valve on the end of the tube right now. But for the large hobbyists with 100 hives or so, and your small sideliners, get your honey pump. They aren't, it sounds like a lot, that $1,000 to start with, but it's a necessary piece of equipment that will do wonders for you later. Basically 2 to 3 minutes for a bucket. I have a little kink in my hose up here, because I normally have it going into the barrel. But that's a honey pump. They work, they're heavy. Get one for yourself. Once the kink's out, it'll go much quicker. Just keep adjusting your hose down into the barrel. That's it. John Pluta, GeorgiaBees.blogspot.com.